Living alone sounds simple. One person, one apartment, one life. But financially, it means one person pays for everything. The biggest mistake people make is thinking rent is the whole story. Rent is just the front door to the rest of the costs. In early 2026, national one-bedroom asking rents were roughly in the $1,500 range, with Apartments.com at $1,627 and Zillow at $1,518. And when you live alone, you do not split that with anybody. The whole number lands on you. Utilities add up fast. For one-person households, utilities, fuels, and public services averaged about $2,978 in 2024, or about $248 a month. Electricity alone averaged $1,197 a year for one-person households. That is basically $100 a month just to keep the place running. Water and other public services added another $532 a year, or around $44 a month. Internet is another bill people forget. Many plans start around $40 to $50 a month, and Consumer Reports found the average homeowner pays about $75. And your phone bill does not disappear either. One-person households spent about $849 a year on telephone services in 2024, or about $71 a month. Then there is food. The United States Department of Agriculture food plans put a single adult's food-at-home cost at roughly $250 to just over $300 a month. And that is the cheap version, because it assumes you are cooking at home. Real life usually costs more than the strict grocery plan. Eating out is its own category. One-person households spent about $2,249 a year on food away from home in 2024, which is about $187 a month. Even boring household basics cost money. One-person households spent about $495 a year on housekeeping supplies in 2024, and furniture never really stops costing money. One-person households spent about $1,472 a year on household furnishings and equipment. That is why living alone feels expensive even after move-in day. You are still buying the apartment piece by piece. Renter's insurance is smaller, but it still counts. The average renter's insurance premium was $171 a year, or about $14 a month. So before transportation, healthcare, or savings, a careful solo renter is already past about $2,300 a month once you add rent, utilities, groceries, phone, internet, insurance, and basic supplies. Add normal eating out, and a more realistic solo living budget moves closer to $2,500 a month. And that still does not include a car. The moment you own one, the math changes fast. The American Automobile Association says the average cost to own and operate a new car in 2025 was $11,577 a year, or about $965 a month. That means transportation can become one of the biggest costs in your entire solo living budget. Once you add a car to the basic solo living budget, you are around $3,500 a month or more before healthcare, debt payments, or savings. And if you zoom out beyond bare essentials, the Bureau of Labor Statistics says one-person consumer units spent about $48,794 in 2024. That is roughly $4,066 a month. That bigger number is what happens when healthcare, entertainment, travel, clothes, subscriptions, and random life expenses start piling on. Living alone is expensive for one simple reason. Nothing gets shared. With a roommate, rent gets split. Internet gets split. A lot of utility bills get split too. Alone, you pay the full rent, the full setup cost, the full emergency, and every single mistake by yourself. That is why living alone looks peaceful on the outside, but financially, it can feel like carrying a whole household on one income. So what does it really cost to live alone? On a careful budget, you are probably above $2,300 a month, more realistically around $2,500, and around $3,500 or more if you own a car. Because living alone is not just paying for a place to sleep, it is paying for an entire system all by yourself.